We have all become very cognizant of Jack and his story. And when Alibaba went public was the largest IPO in history, we know a lot more about him. So I want to talk about his personal story. I want to talk about how many times he tried and failed and what kept him going. I want to talk about where he's going west today. I'll begin with this question. Why are you back? It's been a long break for 7 years. I think my last trip here was in a year, but I was coming for the year 2001 for a young global, and I think I remember I've never heard about Davos when I came. But when I came into Switzerland, so many young people demonstrated. It was such a horrible scene, and I asked them, what are they doing? And said, anti-globalization. And I said, why? Globalization is a great thing, why people don't like it. And then we came all the way. There's a machine gun, there's people checking us. It's a film or it's a prison, what is it? But when I joined a forum at a young global leader, I was thrilled. So many ideas. For the first 3 to 4 years, I learned what does globalization mean? What does cooperative citizenship mean? What does social responsibility mean? All these new ideas, I saw so many great leaders talking about their leadership and benefit it a lot. In the year 2008 and 2009, when a financial crisis came, I thought it's better to go back because I can never win the world by taking. So go back, spend 7 years. Now I came back, I think it's time to do something in term. I learned so much 20 years ago. So why should not I talking to the young, sharing with them how they've gone through? So let's start with where you go today. Just how big is Alibaba? How many people come in a week? How fast it's growing? Yeah, I've over 100 million buyers visiting outside, shop on outside every day. And we created 100 million every day. We created 40 million jobs for China directly and indirectly. And we grew from 18 people to 30,000, 80 people in many apartments to now we have 4 big compared to 50 years ago, we will be big. But compared to 50 years later, we were small. How big will you be 15 years? I think 50 years ago, I told my team that 50 years in the past of 50 years, we grow from nothing to this size. And 50 years later, I want people to see and know about Alibaba because it is already everywhere. And 50 years ago when I talk about that is why small businesses can use this e-commerce, use internet, then do business across. And I hope 50 years later, people forget about e-commerce because I think it's the electricity. Nobody thinks it's a high-tech. This is something that I don't want 50 years later. We still walk on the street talking about why and how e-commerce can help people. You try to get into 3 colleges. Each time they rejected. No, I tried. There's an examination that young people, if you want to go to university, you have to take the examinations. So I failed 3 times, but I failed at a lot of things. Funny things, I failed a key primary school test 2 times. And I failed 3 times for middle schools. And you will never believe in Hangzhou, my city. There's only one middle school that lasts only 1 year. It was changed from primary school. I'll graduate from our school. No middle school accept us because we are too bad. If it would become a middle school, what effect did you have though being rejected? Well, I think we have get used to it. Even today, we still a lot of people reject us. I think when I graduated from universities and before, for 3 years I tried and I failed to get, so I applied to jobs for 30 times, got rejected. I went for police, they say no, they got not job. KFC, when KFC came to China, came to this 24 people went to the job, 23 people were accepted. I was the only guy. And we went for police, 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that never received it. So to me, being turned down, rejected. Oh, by the way, I told you that when I applied for Harvard for 10 times rejected. I know, being rejected. 10 times you wrote them and said, I would like to come to Harvard. Yeah, I then told myself someday I should go teach them. I think that can be arranged. Richard Nixon came to Hazell, and after that tourists flooded to the place. And that's how, really liked. I don't know why at 30 years old. That time I suddenly fell in love with the language, English, and there's no place you can learn English at that time. There's no books, English books, so I went to the Hangzhou Hotel, now called Hangzhou, because it was a hotel that received the foreign visitors. So every morning for 19 years I showed them around and they taught me English. And I think that changed me. Today I'm in China. I've never got a 1 day's journey outside of China. And when people talk about me and say, Jack, how can you speak English like that? Why do you sometimes talk like a Western guys? I think that was 9 years. These Western tourists opened my mind. Because everything they told me was so different from the things I learned from schools and from my parents. So now I have a habit. Whatever I see, whatever I read, I use my mind. Think about doing business. Is that how become Jack Ma? Actually, Jack was the name was given by a lady in tennis. She's a tourist. She came here and she said, "Come to Hangzhou." We become pen friends. Maybe it's so difficult to. So he said, "Do you have an English name?" I said, "No." "Can you give me an English name?" She said, "Okay." She said, "My father's called Jack. My husband's called Jack. What do you think about Jack?" I think good. So I've been using that for many years. First visit to America, 1995 year, I came here for a project helping the local government to build up a highway. And you tried the internet. I tried the internet in Soto and in a building called US Bank. I don't know whether US Bank's still here or is my friend opened a small office which is like only 10% bigger than this room, and there are a lot of computers in there. And I said, "Check, this is internet." I asked, "What is internet?" He said, "Search whatever you want." At that time I used very slow, and I said, "I don't use it. I don't want to type because the computer is so expensive in China. If I destroy it, I cannot pay." He said, "Just research it." So research the first word, beer. I don't know why, maybe because so easy to spell. It's beers from Germany, beers from the USA, beers from Japan. But there's no beer from China. Let's say type is second word, China, no data, nothing. 1995, no data about China. So I talked to my friend, why don't I make something about China? So I want a small, very ugly looking page called China. It's something like I did a translation agency and I listed, and it was so shocking that I should launch at 9:40 in the morning. 12:30, I got a phone call my friend who said, Jack, you've got what is smell? And he said, these are things, he said, people are so excited. Where are you? That was the first time I see China's website on that. How can we do something together? I think this is something interesting, so we should do it. What do you call Alibaba? Alibaba? Well, when I started, I think internet is global. We should have a global name and a name that is interesting. Like that is the best name was Yahoo. So I've been thinking for many days. Suddenly, Alibaba is a good name. So happened to in San Francisco that day. I had lunch and a waitress came. I asked her, do you know about Alibaba? She said, yes. I said, what is Alibaba? OpenSea Sam. Good. I ran down the street and asked 10, 20 people. They all know about Alibaba and for three thieves and OpenSea Sam. And I think this is a good name. And it started with A. Whatever you talk about, Alibaba's all on the top. You ever said before that creating Alibaba, you had to create trust? Because people in China, we were used to face. How did you create trust? I think because we started out doing business on the internet. I don't know you don't know me. So how can you do things online unless you have trust? So for e-commerce, the most important thing was trust. I think when I first went to US for raising money, talked to the venture capitalist. A lot of people say, oh, Jack, no. China doing business via, how can you do business on internet? And I know that without the trust of system, the credit system, it's impossible to do business. So in the past 40 years, everything we do is trying to build up the trust system, the record system. Well, Charlie, I'm so proud today. Today in China and in the world, people don't trust each other. The government and people and media and everybody thinks, oh, this guy's challenging. But because of e-commerce, we have finished 60 million people don't know each other. I don't know you. I send products to you. You don't know me. You wire the money of mine and I don't know you. I give a person a package, I don't know him. I took something across the ocean, across the river, and this is the truth. You have at least this 60 million truths happening every day. But you create it, you would keep the money until you got a product. And then you realize, yeah, that's true. I mean, the Outcrowd service is about ERP. When I know this is would love Davis because it was a big decision. Because for 3 years, Alibaba is just like e-marketplaces for information. What do you have? We talk about, but you don't have any business because there was no payment. I talked to the banks. No banks wanted. Banks said, no, this thing would never say. So I don't know what to do. Because if I started to launch a payment system, it's against the financial legal laws. Because you have to have a license. But if you don't have e-commerce, so then I went to David, listened to leadership discussion. Leadership is about responsibility. And after listening to that panel, I've got a call to my friends. Colleagues in apartment say it is now immediately. If something's wrong, the government's not happy about that. If nobody has to go to the prison, Jack might go to the prison. Because it's so important for China, for the world to be able to trust the system. And if you do not do it, I said do it properly. Stealing money wash, no trust record. I sent you to the prison. So always says things and people don't like it. So many people I talked to at that time, this is the stupid idea. But I said I don't need to, the stupid or clever is as long as people now have 800 million people using this Alipay. Stupid things, everybody is better. Alipay is a privately held thing. No, it's a private, let me talk about. You have never got money from Chinese? No, none. I want it in the beginning, later I don't want it because I think if the company always thinks about picking up money from out of the government's pockets, that company is rubbish. Think about it. How can you make a market and then have customers succeed? That's a philosophy. No money from Chinese. No, at that time I wanted. Now I want to give me. I don't want it. Your relationship with the government? Yeah, what's your relationship? I mean, if they didn't, here's what some say. That you have existed an environment that have restricted competition for you. And that's a pretty good thing to do for a private company. Yeah, I think the relationship with the government for us. It's very interesting for the first 5 years because I've been working in the part job for a government organization called Ministry of Foreign Trade. 1997 for 14 years. Learners should never rely on the government to do e-commerce. And I started the business. I told my people and team I'm in love with the government but don't marry them. Respect them. And other people say, well, government officers talking about internet censorship and this, that may worry about. I think there's a perpetuity and there's a responsibility talking about them. Tell them how internet can help so they can tell them, oh yeah, think about a lot of people debate and fight against them. And in the first 12 years, anybody comes to my office, I sit down talking to them how we can help the economy and I can create jobs. Why China will improve by internet? I think because the internet at that time was new to any government, and if you convince anybody, you have the chance. Since today I'm very talkative, probably this is why I talk to so many people. You also see in Hollywood, yeah. What are you doing in Hollywood? Well, I like the Hollywood innovation. The digital, I learned so much about the Hollywood movies. Especially the Forrest Gump. You love Forrest Gump? I love Forrest Gump. So why do you like him? Simple. Never give up. People thinking he's dumb, but he knows he's doing, and was very depressed by the day in the year 2002 or 3. In the States, earlier than that, I was very depressed when I couldn't find a way for the internet, and then I watched the movie in my friend's home. When I saw him, I said, this is the guy we should learn from. Believe what you're doing, love it. Whether people like it, they don't like it, it's simple. And like to worry if the light is a box. I've never known would be here talking to you and talking to Charlie Rose. I never knew, but today I met it. I told my people in my apartment 50 years ago, guys, we have to work harder for ourselves, but we can be success. 80% of the young people in China can be successful. We don't have a rich father, powerful uncle. We don't have $1 from incentive from government. Just work as a team. So what do you worry about? I worry about today young people. I let young people lose hope, lose vision, and start to complain because we also have the same period. Because when I got, it's a not good feeling being rejected. We're also expressed, but at least later we find that the world has a lot of opportunities. How you see the world, how you catch the opportunity. And it would give me a lot of inspiration, You basically out there for business. You're out there because you want to make the movie for business wise. We're e-commerce company. We have a lot of products that need logistics, but movie, TV, These are things you don't need a logistic system, and movies are probably the best product that can help Chinese young people to understand, because one thing I told Chinese people, my friends, in American movie, all the heroes at the beginning, they look like a bad guy, but when terribly things, they all survived. Because only dead people become a hero. No, so nobody wants to be. So you want to change the Chinese? Yeah, I want to say hero. Today we have so many heroes living in this world. Janet, today, are you worried about the economy's slowdown? No, don't worry about it. I think China's doing a slows down is much better than keeping at 9% China today. In the second largest economy in the world, it's impossible to keep 8% of the growth. If China's to keep the 8% of the growth, there must be something wrong. You will never see the blue sky. You will never see the quality. China should pay attention to the quality of the economy. China shouldn't. So if we have a lot of influence, like Hollywood movies things, and we have a sports, and these things in GDP, we would be much better. So I think just like a human grow, this body can grow. Certain times the slow growth of somebody is slow, but it should grow your mind, grow your values, grow your wisdom. I think China is moving in that direction. And you saw Modi India, pardon. Did you see Modi India? Not yet. I'm looking forward to that. Finally, there's this, one of the world's richest people. Your company is one of the world's richest companies. What do you want beyond Alibaba? Well, by richest people, I really not happy. In the past 3 months, when people say check my the richest people in China, globally celebrity, no, I will not. When I start a business 50, you are I never thought, maybe I'm not now. I think that 50 years ago, my partner, my wife, was at that time one of the 18 factors. Do you want a husband to be a rich person? I've never said rich person in China. Or do you want your husband to be a respected person? She said, of course, respected. Because he never believed, and I don't believe we would be rich people. We just want to survive. I believe you have $1 million, that's your money. When you have 20 million, you still have problems. You worry about inflation, when what headache come. When you have $1 billion, it's not your money. That's the trust society is giving you. They believe you can manage the money, use the money better than the government and others. So I think today we have resources, do more things. With the money we have, with the influence we have, we should spend more time on young people. And I would say, someday we'll go back to teach, go back to school, some time with young people and telling us, sharing with them what I have done. So the money is not mine, just carry it happily. And having these resources, then I want to do a better job. Just tell them your story. Tell them the story and tell them that if Jack, I don't think in this world a lot of people have more than 30 times. The only thing we should never give up, the only thing we like Forrest Gump, we keep on fighting, we keep on changing ourselves, we don't complain. Whether you are successful or not, when you finish the job, if you make a mistake or they failed, if they always complain to others, this guy will never come back. If the guy only checks himself, something's wrong with me here, something's wrong with this guy in this whole. So on behalf of everybody in the television audience around, thank you for taking your time being with us. Thank you.